Hey, all you econ students out there, this is Mr. Washington again. Just wanted to say welcome back to Econ 2020, the online version. Hey, welcome back, guys. I miss talking to you guys. Unfortunately, we got to do this through the online thing. Feel free to hit me up on the Facebook CTA High School Social Studies page. I just created that. Feel free to hop on. I'll put a link in it in the Google Classroom. But again, that's all the social studies class are in that. So you guys can create threads based on what you need to cover. Or if you just want to stop by, say hi, see what's going on, that'd be great. Got to do a quick lesson on the circular flow method. We talked about it briefly, but we're going to add another component to it. I'm going to refresh your memory on what's happening with it, as well as give you guys the content that you're going to need for the next portion of the class. Man, it's a crazy time economically in this country with the coronavirus coming out and the unemployment rate, us being on lockdown. Job options are fewer for people. There's a whole lot going on, but we need to recognize that all of this can be kind of understood or interpreted so you can make some projections as to what's going to happen, but we can't really know everything that's going to happen because we don't know everything that's going to happen. We can only make guesses. Today we're going to talk about the circular flow method. The next video that'll come out tomorrow, we'll talk about economic indicators, and we'll see how all of these fit together and how our economists make predictions as to what's going on in our society. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you and show you guys what's going on with the circular flow method. We're going to give you guys some success criteria and learning targets. Waiting for the slideshow to come up. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got the circular flow method for economic indicators. And when we talk about the circular flow method, what we're going to do is we're going to use the circular flow method. We're using the circular flow model to analyze roles of and interpret the relationships between household, businesses, and governments in the economy of the United States. And then the second half is we're going to use economic indicators such as gross domestic product, real GDP, unemployment rates. Our success criteria is I can use the concept of circular flow to analyze the roles and relationships between household, businesses, and governments of the economy. And I can use economic indicators such as gross domestic product, real GDP, unemployment rates, consumer price index, and analyze the current and future state of the economy. Guys, the ones that are in red are the ones that this video is going to really be focusing on. We're going to talk about some of the other factors in this. That's why it's included in it. But this is what we're going to look at for this whole week. So I wanted to give you the learning targets and success criteria for both videos for the whole week, and at least put them on this video. They'll also be on the next video. They'll just be flipped with the second success criteria and learning targets highlighted on those. So let's talk about the circular flow method. What the circular flow method is, the method to understand how money flows in America, how money flows through this economy. I'm trying to figure out where I can put this little video of myself and not be in your way. So with the circular flow method, the four factors, or the four key hubs that we'll talk about in the circular flow method, one is the product market, where products are bought and sold, businesses that make product, the factors, or the factor market, where people can buy and sell land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, the factors of production, if you remember those. And then the household, this is the average consumer. So let's start with the household. What you guys will notice is in the green, or where the money is in green, what happens with that. And then what happens to the product or the resource is in blue. So the flow of resources is in blue, the flow of money is in green. So let's talk about that. What happens is the average consumer, we'll refer to them as the household. They go to the product market and they buy whatever it is that they're in need of. When they purchase that product, they bring that good or that service home. So if you need your car fixed, you go to the product market, pay somebody, they fix your car, you come home with a fixed car. Or if you need to buy a new TV, you go to the market, you purchase the TV, and then you bring that home with you. Okay, so that's that first level of the market. The second level of the market is what happens to the businesses. The businesses, they deliver that good or service to the market. They make it available to the consumer, and they get money. Their income comes from that product being delivered to the product market, or that service being delivered to the service market. Okay. The factor market, the relationship between the businesses and the factor market is the business has to spend money to purchase the materials, the raw materials, whether it be if they're making cars, it would be the steel, the rubber for the tires, those types of materials. They would purchase that raw material, and they would that raw material would then get delivered to the business for them to make their good or to develop their product. And the last one in this scenario that we're going to look at is when we talk about the relationship between the factor market and the household market. With the factor market and the household market, what we're recognizing is that we receive a paycheck, or we receive income if we're investing in the company, dividends if we invest in the company, or return on that investment for the work that we put in, or for the rent of our property that we're letting the business rent, or the investment that we put in. So this is how the flow of the product works. So again, the household, the consumer spends their money. That money that they spend goes to the business. That enables the business to buy more materials. And the materials that they use or what they need to purchase, that delivers the money or the income back to the consumer of that product, or of the consumer market in general for them. Okay. So where does the government fit in? Well, where the government fits in is the government, what they'll do is they'll tax, they'll regulate, they'll subsidize, and they tax. Why is tax on there twice? Because the government taxes both the businesses and the household. And them taxing the businesses and them taxing the household, that gives the government income that enables them to, as they need to, purchase things from the product market, or purchase services on the product market, or provide services to the product market. So what we look at is the next step, and the next step is this. The black represents the taxes. The tax money comes from the household, goes to the government, and it goes from the businesses to the government. So they're taxing on both sides, okay? The government also regulates, and that regulation is designed to protect the consumer, protect the environment, protect the community, protect the country as a whole. So what the gold represents is the regulatory protections that we get from the government. Additionally, the additional monies or the additional input that we pay the government sometimes is given back to businesses to give them the opportunity to grow, to create more jobs. And as they create more jobs, they quote unquote put more money back into the economy, which helps everyone get, which creates jobs and gives additional employment opportunities. On the bottom, what we'll see is the factor market and the product market. This is where the government is actually representing the consumer in this case. So what happens is, or in this, they also may represent the producer. They may need to purchase something. They need to purchase a good or a service. They have to buy a airplane, or they have to buy a firearm for law enforcement individuals. They are going to spend money, again, that's in green, and they in return get the product that they're purchasing. Okay, so they are purchasing goods. And on the factor market, what we're looking at is they do send money to, or they receive some money from the factor market, or from everyone in general, and that money then allows them to provide a service. And the service that they are providing is, it might be law enforcement, judges, utilities, regulations, those types of things are what they are providing to the community. defense, healthcare. We see the government spending a lot of money right now to provide additional resources to help fight the coronavirus. Those cost money. The government is actually being the consumer in that case by purchasing these N95 masks, by buying all the other materials that they're buying, as well as paying for additional research or paying for additional individuals to work in these fields so that people can get healthy quicker. Okay. Guys, that's the gist of the circular flow model. Again, we're looking at how all of these entities interact with one another. There is one other component that we didn't get into today. We may get into it later on. We may not have time to get into it, but that's how banks or the financial markets fit into this whole component of the circular flow method or the circular flow model. Guys, I appreciate your time. I hope you understand this. We'll talk about this in our meeting when we get together on Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Again, Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. The link to get into the meeting is in the Google Classroom. Look forward to talking with you guys, chatting with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. I'm looking forward to trying to figure this format out, guys. I will be flexible. We can work through this. I don't want anybody to start panicking, going, oh my gosh, there's so much information. Just relax. We will get through this together. I mean, should I be playing We're All in This Together? What is that? High School Musical? You guys like High School Musical? That's, you know, what, 8 years old, 10 years old, whatever. Anyways, we are in this together, guys. Let's try and work through this. Let's make this happen so that everybody gets out successfully. All right, guys, have a great day. Look forward to talking with you.